She's getting ready.
Candy.
Oh, look at her rosy britches.
What's up, world? Can you see the soup? Okay, great.
Maybe you just should I get something to prop the plate up?
I think it's fine. What's up, everybody? We got soup.
Yeah, we do. Panera, big soup bowl. Doing the double size.
But it's not really from Panera. It's Panera soup,
But the
we
bread.
got it from the grocery store.
But it's from the bakery, the bread.
Tatum's like right under.
I tried not to make it too hot. We love their soup.
So, as you can see, we're in a little different location today.
Mm-hmm.
We sold our dining room table.
Yeah. That was a story in its own. Because as you know, we told you we were going to be moving, so we started, selling a few things. And that just happened to be one of the quick movers.
We've been selling our stuff on Craigslist.
And if you've ever dealt with someone on Craigslist,
And Mom talks to them, and then I kind of just see what shows up.
I try to screen them. And
It's really good bread.
yeah, sourdough. You picked it out.
So, those people come, which it was almost as bad as the people that came for the TV last week. I don't even remember. It was so bad. I don't even remember. My brain blocked out what happened with them.
Now, let me preface this with, they came last night, and the weather, it was raining like a monsoon, and it was dark out. It was in the evening, and they came from over a half an hour away. So that's how it started.
So yeah, these folks show up. I come out of my room. Mom's like, they're here.
And we're in a gated, so it's not a big deal, If I go down and don't like them, I'm not buzzing them in. So they didn't tell me before they got here. And in the Craigslist listing, I put the dimensions, everything about it, and 4 chairs. And so when they get here, they show up in a Lexus SUV.
Which doesn't have the biggest trunk.
No, and it's not the biggest. I've seen bigger Lexuses too, I think. And they proceed to pull in, and the first giveaway was the handicap tag hanging from the mirror when I saw them coming. And I told them that it was really well made, that the glass top is really thick, it's tempered glass, it's heavy.
And it's not, the table's not super heavy, but it's good quality. It's not
not one person's going to move that by themselves.
Right. So,
to find out that once we're in the elevator, that he just had back surgery.
So they come up here, I come out. I'm like, hi. And the woman's like, oh yeah, I don't know if this is going to fit. I don't know. We're just like, what do you mean? The measurements are on the Craigslist ad. What do you mean you don't think it's going to fit? And so they start saying some crap about oh, maybe we can come back with a truck tomorrow or whatever. Mind you, they came at 9:30 last night and kept us
They were
waiting.
supposed to come at 6:30 first. And then the times keep changing.
So
this bread's soaked in this. It's awesome. Oh my goodness.
So, I'm gonna break a piece off.
I have more soup over there to pour in if we need it.
Oh, oops.
But if you dig where it's been soaking, oh my goodness.
So yeah, so they're I don't know. if it's gonna fit. So I'm like, okay, we have a tape measure. Like, stop being stupid. And so they're like, okay. And the woman like pulls a tape measure out of her purse or something too. And she's like, I have one too. So we're like, go measure your trunk.
And I said, well, I got to go with you because if you leave, you can't get back in without, a fob. And I'm not giving them my keys. What if they got in their car and left? So I got to go with them to go measure it.
So she goes down because I stay up here with tape. She goes down.
And I had nothing to do with the measuring.
And I knew, so I'm listening for when she comes back in, and I'm like, okay, either it's going to be Mom coming back in alone, because they like measured the table before they went down.
Right.
And then, measured the trunk. And so I knew either she would be coming back alone because they measured and it wouldn't fit, or they would all be coming back because we were going to be moving the table.
Do you want to add some more soup to that?
I just want to get this bite of bread.
It's so good when it's soaked in there. I like this with French onion too. I'm going to add a little more soup for that.
Okay. I'm making a mess today. And then, so yeah, they come back up, and they're like, okay, yeah, like, we're going to take it. And so I'm like, oh, great. I always, like, am hoping that it's just going to be, like, 2 or 3 big hunky guys that are coming to take whatever so that we never actually have to move it. But it was an old guy who had just gotten his back worked on, and
his wife, that was...
who was a ditz. She was a total ditz. And so they're like, yeah, we're going to take it. And I'm like, great. Fantastic. And so the husband and wife, and the husband's first language was not English.
No, hers wasn't either, but her English was very good. She said she had been here since she was like 2 or 1 or something. She was from Cuba, she said.
They weren't speaking Spanish, though.
No, I don't know what his language was that they were speaking, but it was not Spanish.
But, so, we're all up here, and we're like, all right. I'm like, okay, we're going to have to turn the table on its side to get it out the door. And they're like, oh, really? I'm like, oh, boy. It's a glass top table, and it's tile floor right in front of the door. So flipping it on its side, and they're like, oh, we don't have, like, a blanket or anything.
Yeah, so do you have a blanket we could
Do
have?
you have a blanket or a towel that we could have? What's up, Richard?
And we're like, that's not part of the deal here.
To catch up to speed, we're just talking about
A Craigslist sale.
these people from Craigslist that bought our dining room table last night because we're moving. So, so finally, we get the glass top table on its side and going through the doorway. And I'm like, Craigslist is an adventure. Oh, yeah.
Oh, this was, yeah.
It wasn't that bad, but so then I'm still barefoot because we're in the house. So I'm like, oh, let me go run and grab some shoes. I put sneakers on and go back out. And this guy is trying to push
The table on the carpet.
the table on its side. It's a glass table with like an uneven edge. Like the table was like this and like the legs were like this. Like, if that makes sense, like the glass piece was bigger than the frame.
The ledge, yeah.
Yeah, there was like a little ledge, whatever.
Overhang.
You know. So this guy's like sliding it down, and we're all like, and me and Mom are just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Take it how you want. Like, right? And so then eventually the wife is like, oh no, we cannot do this like this anymore.
No, we must pick it up.
So we pick it back up, and then we get to the end of the hallway, and we have to flip it back over to get it through the doorway
elevator.
of the hallway.
Oh.
and then we have to flip it back up because they think it's just gonna fit in the elevator straight up normal, and it didn't. So then we had to flip it over, and then I had to get. But they made me like it was mostly me, mom, and the guy. But then at one point it was like me and the guy carrying it into the elevator, and I had to like carry most of the weight. So I like backed in and was like cornered in the elevator, and he like climbed through the legs.
I'm like, just take the other elevator on the other side of the hall. It's right there. Just here, we'll meet you down there. And he's like, no. He just had back surgery, and he's trying to climb over the table and up and under the legs so you can get the elevator with us. It was like
so then we get down to the floor that their car is at, and I'm like, okay, well, because I'm doing more of the carrying here. Let's switch spots. You get in here. I'll sneak out from behind in this corner, and I'll start it out, and whatever. So I start doing that. I barely like take 2 steps like fully away from the elevator or whatever. We're like out, and the guy like whips around and starts heading for this door
the wrong way.
And it's the wrong way. And the wife's saying some dumb shit. And to the point that I was like, hold on! And stop what you're doing. And he's having the table on the side, and it's a double door.
And she's like, my hand, I can't even feel my hand.
My hands start going numb because this guy, I'm literally standing there like this, and he's got like no weight of the table. He just like whips it around and is like, okay, let's go. And I'm like, no.
And I'm trying to get now there are big double doors to go back out into the garage.
Right.
So, but they're locked on, and
so we flip the table over, and then we get the doors open, and then we get to the car, and he's like,
no. Then his wife says, "Here, we'll stay here with the chairs and the table. You bring the car back around because it was just parked like not far. It was in the garage, But so he's bringing the car around then."
What? No, that's not what happened next.
Well, we stood there. Remember, he brought the car over.
He had already like done that before we brought the table down.
Mm-hmm.
We brought the table down and the car was there. Oh, it was an irrelevant part of the story. Because then he brings the car over, whatever the fuck. And he's like, oh yeah, this isn't gonna fit.
He measured it.
Before even trying to put it in. No, not gonna fit. And half the time he's speaking to his wife in whatever language.
Yeah, we didn't know what they were saying. And then it dawned on me, I didn't get the money yet.
And I asked her, a few minutes later, I was like, do you get the money yet? Because then his wife or you were like, oh, go up and get the chairs for the table.
Yeah. And I thought that's when she was going to pay me.
And so we came down with the chairs. This is making no sense because you keep cutting me off.
I'm sorry. All right, I won't.
It makes no sense now anyway, so. Regardless, it was stupid.
So the table, you couldn't close the trunk on their SUV. And then as we're trying to like finish putting the chairs and everything in, she goes, oh, come here, and to pay me. So she's got her purse open in her car, and she says, so can we negotiate the price?
No, she didn't say that. She said, can I give you $150?
Oh, right. She said, can I give you $150?
She didn't say anything about can we negotiate the price. She said,
and I looked at her.
She said, how much was it? $165? And you said, yeah. And she was like, can I give you $150? And you were like,
I said,
after we just moved it, like,
for you? So then they can't close the trunk. And so they're like, so do you have some string, some rope? Like, so that they can tie. And we're like, no. And so we're ready to, like, make a beeline now. I got my money in my hand, and we're ready to hit the elevator. And the wife comes out with his sneakers that were in the back seat, and she's pulling the shoelaces out. So now she's going to try to tie. We left. I don't know. It was pitch black, pouring rain, and nobody to help them on the other end. And I'm going to tell you what. They shoved this table in there like a wiener skin. I don't know how they're ever going to get it out.
I shoved that thing in there. Like,
yeah.
Everyone, I'm sorry, you were just like staying out of it. Everyone was a weak, like, contributor on this. Like, I was like, okay, let me just jack up the table and pull it into this fucking trunk to get you out of here. Like,
And then she said, you told them how to get out of here, right? And I'm like, yeah, you follow those exit signs right out there. And don't worry, the gates, when they see your car, they'll open right up and you're right off. And
like everyone's like standing around like, oh, I don't know how to get this. I don't know why this table isn't going in here. And I'm like, all right, hold on. Like,
and now it was raining all day today too. And so it was so funny. She said, she had told me before that they didn't have a garage, but that it was really cool that, we have a garage that's going to get loaded in out of the rain. And they also said that nobody was going to be there to help them take the table and chairs out of the car either. So who knows if that table even made it like back to their house.
Pillsbury has new chocolate chip biscuits.
Oh,
The TV is like behind the computer, so
this is like so good.
I'm full. I'm over it.
Mm. That was like really good. I can't remember last time we had their soup.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I don't know, that story ended up being stupid. And that's it.
That was our Craigslist story.
You guys live in an apartment, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a condo, so.
What? Stop.
But it's gated, and which is good. But I did learn, that you don't put your phone number or address in a Craigslist ad. I didn't do that. Then you try to qualify them and stuff before you even give them your address. But
All right, I'm full. I gotta go.
she's full. Well, thanks for joining in. That was good.
Why do you rely on me to end these every time?
And so, subscribe, hit your bell, and we will
So
see.
you cut me off every time I try to say that at the end of the video. But now, okay, all right. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Jeez, you're a piece of work. Like the past 3 videos.